All right, I'm here live with my buddy Randy. Randy, how you doing?
Hey, Aaron, thanks for having me in today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Randy and I know each other through a lead generation platform that we utilize, and we've kind of masterminded together. We have similar interests, obviously, in real estate, but also in how we serve our clients, buyers and sellers. But I'll let Randy give you kind of his background a little bit because he's got a pretty interesting one, and we can kind of fire some questions at him from there.
And I think that's true. And I think, as we look at our two teams, our two businesses are very similar. I've been licensed since 1994. My partner is also my mom, and she's been in since 1974. We pretty much, the bulk of our volume is done by us. In the last 18 months, the team has expanded outside of just, 2, 3, 4 of us. And, we're looking to hit 100 million this year. So it's, growth is actually trying to, grow without, our volume having to grow as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Like grow size wise as far as the team or transactions or?
Well, I think, and that's a good question. We try to stay more transaction oriented because the volume will come with that.
Right.
And, we don't want to be, let's say, 100 million, 150 million team by the primaries. We're really trying to bring more agents in to help us with the volume or the transaction count without us having to do the transactions.
Very cool. Very cool. So taking a lesser load as far as transactions go, but helping others.
Or the same.
Yeah. And helping others gain more income and exposure in the marketplace as well too. So
no question about it. And it's going from being the primary agents on a team to maybe stepping back and being more coaches, being more mentors, being the leaders, running the accountability. It's an exciting time for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So 100+ million, you're in what market?
So we are in Lafayette, Walnut Creek, California, 20 miles outside of San Francisco, NorCal, East Bay.
Nice.
And average sales price in our marketplace right now is, right in the 1.5 mark.
Holy cow. You're only like 4.5, 5 times our average sales price. So.
I am. It's funny you say that. I interviewed Lauren Hensley last week, and she comes from a small town in Kansas, and her average sales 140.
Oh my gosh!
And it was interesting because, and actually, what's funny is in real estate, what she's doing for lead gen, what we're doing, and how she's helping her clients, it's the same.
It's the same, yeah. And you find that, especially among top producers, typically it lines up. You're doing pretty much the same things, whether you're selling multi-million-dollar homes, if you're good, as you're selling, 200-300. Like for us, our average sales price is right around, 385-400,000. So, but we're still going to do the same exact things, whether we have a $100,000 listing or whether we have $1 million or $1.5 million listing. You serve everyone the same. That's how you create that, reciprocity referral business from, those people, because you treat them the exact same.
No question about it. The only thing, maybe marketing is a little different. I don't know if she's running, drone video, et cetera, on a 140 house where we're having multiple videos on a $1.5 million or $3 million house.
Yeah, for sure.
So marketing gets a little more complicated.
So as far as your marketing goes, as far as, let's say, to find business, what are you using? What I know I've leaned on you for a couple of marketing tools that we're starting to implement in our business. So if you,
but I got a new cool one for you too. I got to talk to you about So we kind of use a multiple. We call it the pillars of your business. And as our agents come in, if you're going to have only one pillar in business, you're probably going to be out of business really quick.
Yeah.
So I know Mom and I, our pillars, and we still pick up the phone and call. So we, web lead gen is one pillar. We do extensive farming, geographical farming, and then I wouldn't say hammer, but we pound our SOI pretty well. Where I would say another 30% of our personal business comes out of. And quite honestly, just a lot of, and it sounds bad. Another type of farming is we do a lot of business with people around town that we run into that know us. Not quite SOI, but just I talk to everybody.
Name recognition.
I mean, it's, I've sold a house to the butcher at our local supermarket. So I think that's our 4 pillars.
Okay, awesome.
And
so as far as let's dive into one of them, like farming, for instance. I see people farm, and a lot of times they quit. They send out 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, and it's cost them a couple $1,000, and they stop. Right? What are your views on farming? How often should you be sending stuff, or what kind of things are you sending?
Well, that's a great question. And farming has evolved in the last couple of years. And the number one word I'm going to use here is consistency. Absolutely. We see agents go, oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Farming is long term. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a Zillow lead that comes in and buys a house. Farming is how you're going to stay in business long term. I would say minimum they should see your name in the mailbox twice a month.
So that's mailbox, digital as well. Is that included?
Well, what we've kind of gone to in the last year is a QR code sending them back to a website that they can check house values, recent solds. They can check, maybe, local events, but that website is really unique to their neighborhood.
Gotcha.
So, for example, I live in Ocklawaha's Ridge. So anybody in my neighborhood gets that, they're going to QR code back to Ocklawaha's Ridge. Do they want a pie on Thanksgiving? Well, it's going to be a QR code back to the Ocklawaha's Ridge page. So really try to drive them into our website, which it's called, our new program is called Cato, which you and I are going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
And with Cato, once they come back into the website, they now see our marketing plan, and they have a personalized video from us. So it's more personalized than just seeing the postcard.
So it's really benefit rich, and it's all about them or their community, and realistically their house and valuations and.
Yeah, exactly. And within that website they come into, it's a lot of personal information. Hey, here's Randy walking his boxers down the street. Stop him and say hi. Here's the Churchill team's last 3 sales in the neighborhood. So it's really really more of a personalized experience than just going to some website.
No, that's perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. So as far as your team, I know that I see your posts all the time on Facebook and other places, and see the growth that you're having as a team. How are you finding them? Is it the same way? Are they seeing you through name recognition and your sales, or is it something that you're aggressively going after, trying to get new agents to help you on your team?
Well, new agents are hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, NAR just came out with a stat that 87% of all new agents fail. And, I think that in itself means, if you bring a new agent on, you have to be committed to, they're committed to you. You need to be committed to them. So you got to watch how many new agents you bring onto your team.
Yeah. Well, that learning curve is super, super steep.
Oh,
what they learn in real estate school is this much.
Well, you go to real estate school for the law.
Yeah, that's it.
Not sales.
Right.
I mean, it's a big difference there. And, it's like, I got my license, I'm ready to sell. It's like, whoa, so, we use Wise Hire quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run it 2 months, take it off 2 months, run it 2 months. And from Wise Hire, we'll send them again, a website on why the Churchill team, EXP, et cetera. EXP, the Churchill team, the things we can do for them, EXP University, a video on what we do, maybe we put a video together from, a couple people on our team. I'm actually doing a video on Monday with our number one producer who's been in the industry 1 year that we're going to add to the website too, on pitfalls in your first year. And then the other thing is I don't really want that 10-year agent that when you say to them, you need to do this, I've tried that. I don't want that person either. So, having a balance between your maybe 2 to 4 year agent that hasn't had a lot of success, and then your brand new agent, and having a mixture of really having you get the EXP collaboration, but having the collaboration on your team with the newer and the seasoned vets, that's a good formula.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you use Wise Hire. They're real estate specific, right? I
No,
believe
they're like Monster. I mean, it could be anything. Indeed is a partner with them.
gotcha.
We've had great luck off LinkedIn as well. Making your profile and now hiring.
Perfect.
Hashtag we are hiring. I don't know. Jeremy Larson does a really good job as well. He did a really good post today. If you're not friends with him, be friends with him. He did a really good. Yeah, he did. Write that one down.
Yeah.
He did a really good post on why the Jeremy Larson team, what they do for new agents, and he's hiring. And I think Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter to a certain extent, we are hiring. It's a hashtag. I know I got a guy coming on that runs a auto body shop in town. He's gonna do both, and he strictly came from LinkedIn. And I think he's gonna be great. The amount of people he comes across.
Right.
His needs a little different than some needs. He's hoping to sell 6 houses a year. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's pretty good income. Side income.
about $9
That's why
million.
I started as a part-time for a year while I was still teaching school, so I don't say stay away from or shy away from the part-time agent. It's just you have to have expectations that they're not going to blow it out and sell 20 or 30 homes, right?
If it's going to be a part-time agent, or even, I can say this about new agents too, we ask for their calendar on Sunday nights.
Perfect. Yeah.
What is your week going to look like? Especially part-time agents, where are you going to fit the hours in? Because, if you go from a 20-hour week and you put that out there, and we're kind of working backwards, you got to make X contacts. Okay, so where are we going to make these contacts? Where are we going to have these conversations? It's maybe 25 real estate conversations for every appointment, or maybe it's 10, maybe you're better. But, working backwards, you got to make sure that you're having enough time to have those conversations, though.
Right. And then enough time to work the appointment, and in the crazy market that we're in, if you need to show a home today, you need to show a home today because the home's gone if you don't.
We just wrote an offer today on a house a client hasn't seen.
Yeah. Yeah. We do that all the time. And usually they're coming from California. Interesting.
He's crazy. People from California.
It's mass exodus, man. Everyone's coming to Texas.
Well, it's funny is I just had just talking to a lender this morning, and we're talking economics more than actual real estate. But, yes, I would agree with you to a certain extent that people are leaving California. In the next breath, we have 20 offers per house.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe the people that are leaving weren't buying and selling anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's enough staying, and obviously the demand is still there because supply is so low everywhere across the country. Every person I've talked to, it's the same thing, which is kind of weird. I've been in this for 20 plus years, and I've never seen anything like this before, where every market in the country is pretty much identical. Low inventory, super high demand, and multiple offers on every property.
Across the board, you find it's frustrating that on our team, I was just kind of digging a poll on how many pre-approved buyers we have. We have 52 pre-approved buyers over $1 million.
Wow.
Just sitting there looking for a house. And, and they're not all the same market. They could be anywhere from, South County to North County to East County, but still, these are 52 people that want to buy a house.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard. And we have them, where we've put together really good offers, really good offer package, and they just don't get it. There's, they get beat out by cash or what have you. But I think the biggest thing is making them aware of the market prior, so that if that does happen, they're not as devastated by it. Back in the day, even 5 years ago, we would tell people pick out 3 or 4 homes. Let's go take a look at them. You can go see it a second time. And, you had time to make those decisions. Now it's pretty much snap judgment. There's no falling in love with one house. It's trying to fall in love with 5 or 10 so you get one house.
The good news here is, I don't know if you guys have offer dates.
Yeah, like deadlines.
Yeah.
Dubai.
So typically, it's a 10-day period, unless you're going out there on day 9. Then you're, trying to, really trying to coach our agents to get out there on day 1 through 4. So
Right.
that way they can get the Disclosure IO link. They can look through, and in our market, our agents are pretty good in our market where the home inspection, the roof inspection, the termite inspection are all done before the house goes on the market.
Yeah. See, we're totally opposite here.
And I'll tell you the advantage to that is that we're seeing the last couple of years that people are writing offers that have no contingencies.
Yeah.
There's no home inspection because they've already seen it. There's no termite inspection. Maybe they're already hopefully our buyers pre-approved so they can, they can take that off. Maybe that's a big down payment so they can take the loan contingency, maybe appraisal contingency. But, really representing your seller in a way, I mean, there's two different sides. The buyer is able to really write their best number because they've seen all the reports. And 2, the seller is going into escrow knowing the buyer's seen everything about the house, and the seller, is able to negotiate in a way that there isn't that second negotiation after inspections.
Right. Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. I was even interviewed an inspector a week or so ago, and same thing, talking to him about pre-inspections or inspections for sellers and how it eliminates that need for that second inspection or the chance for it to fall through based on that. Because everything's disclosed in front.
Do you use Disclosure IO from HomeLight?
No, we do not.
Disclosure IO from HomeLight is an awesome program where you can give the link to a buyer's agent. Or
we have it linked in our MLS. Yeah.
Right. So in this way, you can actually see who's, which reports they've seen, have they downloaded it. So everything is out there before they write an offer. So the home inspection's on there, the termite inspection, the roof inspection, if it's a landscaping inspection, whatever inspection it is, you can have it online before they even write an offer so they can remove that contingency.
No, that's amazing. That's awesome. I'll have to check that. So you're a wealth of information.
Hey, I'm not just another.
I always like talking to you. You always had the coolest sites to go check out and start implementing in our business. And honestly, you've helped me a ton with that. So I totally love that. So now I got homelight.io. This other new site you're going to talk to me about offline, and then I'll
and that's another. Quite honestly, Cato is another program where it's a great way to pre-listing. You're sending out a Cato site to you've just talked to him. You got an appointment on Thursday. You send them your Cato site, which it's going to be a website breaks down your video, and as soon as they click on the site, your video starts. Like, hey, Aaron, so glad you got to my site. I'm looking forward to our appointment at 4 p.m. on Thursday. Please look at what's below me here. You're going to see my marketing plan. You're going to see my marketing videos from other homes. You're going to see reviews from other clients. You're going to see some raving fans. The entire package is right there that they go study before you get there.
So it's pre-sale package, but delivered digitally instead of
delivered digitally as a website.
Right. No, that's awesome. I love it.
It's killer. And I know I turned you on to High Note, and I'm a huge believer in High Note. I think this blows High Note away.
Wow. Yeah, because we're using High Note as well in our stuff.
Yeah, I think this is next generation High Note stuff.
So as far as team goes, you've got yourself, your mom. How many agents now?
We got 6 agents right now.
6 agents. How many admin?
We had a little breakage at the end of the year that a couple people went back into other industries.
Gotcha.
I don't know, but here's a flash statement: real estate's hard.
It is hard. It is not for the weak of heart.
One lady was in the entertainment business, like booking venues and stuff, and that business went away. So she, kind of thought that she'd go sell real estate because it's easy.
Yeah.
As soon as venues started opening back up, like, I'm out of here. This is too hard.
We have a unique thing in our area, because the market's so strong, more people get their license, right? So 61% of all license holders in our MLS system are under 3 years old. So,
which I think it's a great opportunity for you.
It's a great opportunity, but you're dealing with a lot of people that, like we said, the learning curve is steep. So they may not have had the full time to learn everything that they need to. So, there's a lot of working out with that as well too. So we see it, 1, as an opportunity, 2, to train, to make our industry better. But 3, it's something where when 87% of those people fail, it's causing a little bit of pain within the market. And I think the biggest pain right now is just communication. You text people. People expect everything by text. You don't get that voice to voice, and a lot of things can be misread in text. So we always try when we're talking to, whether it's the agent, consumer, definitely hammer out a phone call instead of just text.
No
right?
question. Voice to voice is text is great to get you to voice to voice, but you got to be voice to voice.
You got to do voice to voice, right?
It's one of my new agents who got his license back in July last year. He sold 2 houses in the last 6 months of the year. And this is interesting. He was kind of bummed at the end of January. And he goes, "What do I do?" I said, "Well, you're really not working. I mean, you're working, but you're not working." And he started boot camp. We're doing a boot camp where he checks in every morning at 9. He has set goals every single day on what he's got to do. Whether it's 3 social media posts for the week, 25 calls into sync, 20 calls or 10 calls to his SOI, knock on a few doors, do 2 open houses. What's amazing has happened here is he has a pipeline.
Right.
He now is running a legit business. He's out showing property, both days last weekend. He's got 3 appointments this week to show property. And the only paradigm change that he had was he started treating it as a job. And he's consistent every single day now. Right. And I think that, that's the biggest message for new agents in the marketplaces is, if you're not going to treat it as a 40-hour a week or 60-hour a week job, you're probably better off being a Walmart greeter.
I don't know about that. I think you've said it a couple times, and I always say it, when we're doing our team trainings, and it comes up in every one of these that I do. The main theme is consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's you're mailing things out or you're making phone calls or you're setting up, it has to be done consistently or it will fail. It will break. But if you have the consistency in there, you will build that pipeline or that funnel, and I know for you recently, you've kind of made the switch over here to EXP. Tell me a little bit about that. Was there an issue that was happening in your business, or why'd you make the switch to EXP? I always like just find that out.
Well, and actually, this is actually it's a fun conversation, a fun journey. Sarita and I started looking around. I think it was 22. So it'd be January of 2020. It's funny. I came back from a sync mastermind. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, we need to move. And at first it was more economic just for the 2 of us, not even taking in consideration some of the other stuff, just the everyday running of our business. It didn't make sense to be anywhere else other than EXP.
And where were you before?
What's that?
Where were you before?
We were at a local boutique, J. Rockcliffe. Then they got sold to Sereno, and Sereno's now Christie's. But at the end of the day, you go, okay, hold on a second here. How much are we giving our broker? And for us in 20, we not gave, but we gave our broker over $100,000. And in what you get this shiny toolbox of about 20 different things that they're gonna, you can use this, use that, and by the end of the day, you only use 2 of them.
Right.
And nice thing is now our agents are only using the 2 things that we really want them to use anyway. But it was really economics. And by the time that you line up our production with with where we were and where all of a sudden the number of transactions, then once you become Icon, you get the 16 grand back. It just didn't make any sense to be running our business anywhere else.
Yeah, and then when you're getting the 16 grand back as an Icon agent, that's
absolutely. And all of a sudden
they're paying you. They're paying you at that point to be with EXP, because they're giving you that back in stock. They're also gifting you throughout. You're buying a little piece every time you sell a house. They're literally paying you to be here.
One of our last straws was the new company came in, and I said, "Hey, we need some consistency here in training. I shouldn't be having on my split and having to train my agents on contracts or this or that."
Right.
and maybe conversion training or lead gen, whatever the training was. And their response was, we'll get to that. Well, that's great, but in the meantime, you're still collecting money from me.
Right.
And with the first time you go into EXP University, it's really overwhelming. It's like, wow. I mean, so now our agents, I had an agent this morning say, I can't make roll call today because I want to go see this class. And it's like, I mean, I know the instructor, and it was like, well, I'd go to that class too.
Right.
$500 at $45 clips on E&O. That's unheard of.
Right.
The $85 a month in tech, it comes out to about $1,000. So you're $1,500 into tech and E&O, where I was close to $4,100 per agent.
Wow.
And so you start, doing, 4,100 times 6, there's $24,000 in January before you even sold a house.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean,
that's awesome.
So you just do that's not even, I mean, I know when we started the search, EXP stock was at 8 before the split. And so, but, not even counting where the stock might go with the 5%, not counting where, if you recruit an agent, the revenue share from them. So, I mean, there's, that all kind of was, eye-opening after we got there. That was definitely not a deciding factor of getting there.
Yeah, it's just like cherry on the top kind of thing. It just builds over time. It's going to happen anyways with what you normally do.
Well, no question. And, here you are coming to the end of the, I think May 1's our first, and we'll have well over, about 65, 70,000 in stock, and kind of a down stock here.
No, that's awesome. That's amazing.
So, I mean, try to tell an agent that, we took 5% and boom, plus, some grant, this or that. And there we are.
Yeah, no, that's great. And like you said, it just accumulates based on what you're normally doing, helping buyers, helping sellers, going out and helping agents be better in their business. Right. So it's what you're normally going to do. Why not get a little bit of a reward for it? Right?
Well, exactly. And it kind of goes back that, if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bang his rear end all the time. But, when stock was at 55 about a month and a half ago, now we're at today 24, thanks to the Russians.
Yeah, no kidding.
But, no, I mean, it couldn't be happier.
Yeah. So as far as the move goes, you've been 1 year in May?
May want to be 1 year.
Yeah, so we'll be 4 years in April. So we've had a little bit of a head start on you, but you're catching up on me quick. So
yeah,
I try to keep these. We're at about 28 minutes. Try to keep these under 30 minutes here. So
yeah, no worries. And actually,
any last thoughts or anything?
Yeah, can I? So I mean, in talking about that, yeah, and I really think, and I've said this before, is agents need to really ask themselves: are you helping your broker retire, or is the broker helping you retire? And I, and when you tell it to people, it's like, well, hold on a second. I know my manager out there and the broker has houses in Tahoe here, there, and I'm working hard.
Right.
At EXP wants you to retire.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love it. I love it. That's a great question.
I mean, EXP will, they're showing you the playbook on how to retire as a realtor.
Absolutely. Yep. And that's where I finally have that. I've been doing real estate about 15, 16 years before discovering EXP, and there was no retirement outside of going and buying other houses or whatever. I finally know that I know someday here in 10 years, 15 years, whenever I say enough's enough, I can step away and I will have a retirement sitting there for me because of the stock, because of the revenue share. So yeah, it's an excellent point you made there about, are you making your broker rich, or do you want to make yourself rich, or have yourself retire at some point?
It's the same question, and actually interesting guy to talk to would be Justin Graham in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
He creates a lot of his own business through flips. So it could be an interesting guy to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Maybe you can hook me up with him.
Do you not know him?
No, I don't know him.
I'll set you up with him too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, fascinating guy. I mean, he does a lot of his own transactions. I mean, he's flipping houses. I mean, he's got 3 or 4. He's in a market that he can do flips, and
Yeah.
he's buying them cheap and creating market share because he's flipping houses in his market.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, fascinating guy.
Another leg to the business. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Everybody just saw my father-in-law.
I saw him pop in the back there. Well, thanks for coming on here. Like I said, I try to keep these right around 30 minutes or so.
So we're good. I got to run. I got to go to a 2:00 appointment.
Same here. I got one here in about a half hour. So I
go.
appreciate you coming on.
Aaron,
like I
thank
said,
you. That was awesome.
Yeah, if you have anybody,
I got a follow-up email I'll send to you.
Yeah, for sure. I need to know about Cato.
I know. I'll get you on.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.